Hey guys, welcome to yet another video of Archgyan Revit. Today we're going to learn how to create a window. So first things first, we go to File, New, Family, and click on the metric window template. So you need to use the right template to create the right type of door or window or whatever it is you want to create. So metric window, click on Open. I think I need to talk to the camera. Yeah, what up? Alright, so first things first, before we get into creating the family, I'm just going to run you through Revit Interface because I guess a lot of beginners would also be watching this video. So we have a properties palette on the left and a project browser on the right. Generally, it's tucked in together like this. Yeah, but then I'll just move it to the right. And then we have a ribbon on top. Alright, so first things first, we need to create our reference planes. Before I get into creating reference planes, so reference planes is the core of how you create families in Revit. We have our reference planes, we have our walls, we have the opening as well. So that's why we created it in the window template. If I go to my exterior view, you can see that it has a parameter which is the default Sill height and the height. Alright, so I'm going to create my reference planes in the exterior view and then going to create my frame. So I'm going to create reference planes by clicking on reference plane, which is create reference plane, or you can just type RP on the keyboard. Get used to using shortcuts because if you work in companies and each time you click on reference plane, your boss is going to get mad at you. Alright, so whenever you dimension, you should always dimension from the stronger reference to the weaker reference. So if I select this reference plane, you can see that it's called the top reference plane. And if I select the bottom one, which is the new one, it's called a weak reference. So I always dimension from the stronger to the weaker. And to dimension, you click on DI or you can click on the align tool, which is there under annotate align. So we have this, this, and finally this. Now I'm going to create my first parameter, which is the frame thickness. I'm going to select all the dimensions and click on create parameter, which is in our top ribbon. So once you click on create parameter, you can call this the frame thickness. Notice when I give a frame thickness, it takes the same value of 56, which is the lowest. And now you can change this value here. If you go to the family types and change it to say around 40. Right, so we have a frame in place, which is our reference plane. Now we're going to create our frame and our glass shutter. So this is going to be a fixed class. It's going to be a quick tutorial on how to create windows. On the future tutorials, I would definitely get into creating casement windows and maybe double hung windows and more. Alright, we start off by creating the frame. To create the frame, I go to create, click on sweep. So basically what a sweep is, you create the path in which you want the profile to travel to. So first thing is to create this path. So click on sketch path and click the rectangle tool. Now you need to align and lock it to these reference planes. I use the AL tool, which is a shortcut for align. So I select the reference plane and then this line, lock, and finally this line as well. So once you've locked all the lines, you click on OK, which is the finish edit mode. And then we edit the profile. We're going to edit the profile in the left view. I'm going to give the depth as a parameter. So first thing is I create my rectangle and I lock it to these reference planes, lock, and finally this reference plane lock. So this is going to be a parameter. So I'm going to snap from one reference plane to this line, select the dimension and click on create parameter. I'm going to call this the frame depth and change the angle to 1:10, change the scale to 1:10, that is. So you have a frame depth of 187, click on OK and OK. So now let's just tweak these values. So if I go to our family types, I can change the frame depth to say 125, click apply, and it changes accordingly. Similarly for the frame thickness as well, it changes accordingly. And now we can create our glass shutter. So to create our glass shutter, I click on create, extrusion, and click the rectangle tool. I'm going to align and lock it to the inside reference planes. Click on OK and go to my floor plan. Now I need to create a parameter for my shutter thickness. I'm going to place it halfway. So I create a reference plane Now this reference plane is going to be half of my frame depth. So I'm going to create it from this edge to this edge and create a new parameter. You can also create a new parameter directly in family types. So you can go to family types and click on the new parameter. Call this the glass position. So the glass position is going to be our frame thickness divided by 2 and assign the parameter. So that's frame thickness divided by 2. Am I right? No, it's going to be the frame depth, sorry. Alright, so this comes bang in the center. And now I can just draw 2 additional reference planes and call that the glass thickness. Make it equal to our reference plane. And give the overall dimension. So I'm going to call this the glass thickness. Alright, just change the scale to 1:10 so that I can see all our dimensions. And now I'm going to snap this and lock it in place. So we have our glass thickness, and we can also assign a parameter, a material parameter for our glass. So we select the extrusion, and next to materials on the far end we have associate family parameter. So click on new, call this the glass material. It's also a good idea to first assign the glass material directly and then give a parameter so that you can see the glass in family as well. So I'm going to select the glass material, click on OK, and then assign a parameter which we can tweak in our project. Alright, change this to shaded. So I'm going to create few types for my window. So click on family types. To create few types, you can just click on the new type, call this type 1, and this is going to be 1500 into 900. Our frame depth can be around 120, say 80 if it's a 100 mm wall. Frame thickness can be around 40, or let's say 50. Glass position is obviously half of the frame depth, so you don't have to worry about that. Thickness of the glass can be around 10 mm, or less than that, maybe 6 mm. Height is 900 and our width is 1500. Click apply and then it changes accordingly. We can also give a material for our frame. So select the frame, assign a material first. If you don't have a wooden material, you can click on our asset browser, search for wood, and create a new material. Call this wood. And then you can just use the wood parameters for this new material. So I'm just going to select plywood, new. You can click on this icon, which is replace the current asset in the editor with this asset. Alright, that's great. And use render appearance, apply, OK. And now if I go to my shaded, okay, it was not come. Yeah, we haven't selected the material. So wood. Yeah, so we have our wood with our glass, and I'm going to create another type as well. Type 2. This is going to be 1500 or 1800 into 1800. Pretty big window, 6 feet by 6 feet. So this frame depth could be 100, thickness could be 60, glass thickness could be 10, height is going to be 1500. Click apply. So now we can toggle between the two windows. That's awesome. And now let's just bring this into our project. So I click on file, new project, architecture template. I'm going to go back to my family and save this family before I bring it in. Always a good idea to save. Call this the window family. Window family YouTube. Yeah. And you can reduce the backups to 1. You don't really need too many backups for your families. Click on save. And then load into project. So we can't place it because we don't have a wall to place it. It's a wall-based family. So I'm going to create a wall first. Go to our families. And you can see that we have our windows in, which is window family YouTube. You can drag it in. You need to select the type and place it. Or you can press WN on your keyboard, which is a shortcut for Windows, and place it in. You can change the type as well. And you can change the type here as well. Click on edit type, duplicate, call this type 3, maybe 2000, and change the width to 2000. Okay. Alright, so that's how you quickly create windows in Revit. In our future videos, we're going to learn how to create casement windows and more. I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching, and please do like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting daily Revit videos till you guys get better and hopefully change the world with your work. And yeah, I think I should stop blabbering. Ciao guys. The host Kobe signing off. Alright, last things last. I wonder why I keep saying first things first and last things last. But anyways, before you guys start scratching your heads and figure out how to change the sill height, you just need to go to like exterior view, or in your project as well. Just go to the family types. So the sill height is generally tucked away right at the bottom under the other category. You can also bring it to your dimensions category by just editing this parameter and changing the group name to dimensions, yeah, and click OK. And now you can see that the sill height has come to your dimension category. And once you load this into your project, you can change the sill height as per your wish. So yet again, thanks for watching, and please do like and subscribe because I try to make Revit videos on a daily. Alright, ciao guys.